A man sprinting on all fours through the night. A figure that vanishes in the middle of an Arizona field. A dead relative caught walking through someone's kitchen in the middle of the night. Shadow things slipping into living rooms. A red light that shows up at the exact same second every night, and more. These are 10 unexplained things caught on security cameras. Let's start off with this totally normal security footage of a naked guy running on all fours in the middle of the night. The clip was posted to Reddit by user VSK1. Funnily, it was posted in the public freakout subreddit rather than a cryptid or paranormal themed one. I guess this could qualify as a public freakout. Can't really speak to this guy's intentions here because I've not been in his position before, I promise. Trail camera footage out of Arizona was making the rounds online last year after it was posted by a man named Danny Pusher. The clip shows a faint figure moving through a grassy field before seemingly vanishing into thin air. Pusher explained in his caption that he'd set the camera up after hearing howling and crying sounds near a drainage wash at 5 a.m. and that the camera caught something wandering through that same area at 2:22 a.m. He was pretty upfront about having no answers, writing that he wasn't sure if it was a skinwalker, a Bigfoot, some kind of lurker, or just a person walking around the night with no light. Comments blew up with people sharing their own eerily similar experiences in the area as well. One person wrote they'd been hearing strange things behind their shed and that the drainage always seemed to have something going on around that same time of night. Their dogs acting up crying. Another said their neighborhood dogs had gone absolutely crazy the previous night and immediately connected it to Pusher's video. And then there's this comment. Last year my son and his girlfriend saw a man running with coyotes by Stiuso Pit. They said the man was running like a dog and looked like he had either fur or a coyote pelt on him. Did this home security camera capture footage of someone's deceased mother? It's a bit hard to spot, but keep your eyes on the right-hand side of the frame. The figure clearly walks by the table. The uploader nor her roommate were awake at the time. On top of that, the Reddit user who posted the footage is called Apparition Queen, so there's a good chance this was in the Appalachian Mountains. Tons of creepy paranormal reports and legends from that area for those who are unaware. Apparition Queen said her roommate's mother had passed away days before this footage was recorded. She also wrote in the description, captured by our in-home camera. My roommate is convinced it's her mother. I do see glasses at one point, and her mom did wear glasses. No one else was in the home or awake. What do y'all think? A couple years ago, Reddit user Just Koiru shared this photo pulled from his old high school security camera taken 7 years before. He wrote that the original footage showed the figure moving straight through a picnic table before disappearing into a classroom wall. The uploader always had an interest in the paranormal and says this particular incident is one he keeps coming back to whenever he talks about his experiences, pointing out that since the image came directly from the school's security office, the chances of it having been tampered with are pretty low. Unfortunately, the original video has been lost over the years, but he says he's actively trying to track it down. He's reaching out to old classmates in hopes that someone saved it. He did consider the possibility of students pulling a prank, but points to a couple of things that make that harder to buy. For one, the footage was captured at 2 a.m. when the area was locked and being actively monitored, and this was 2017, so AI wasn't really a thing. This series of home security camera images were posted to Reddit by user Joey's Adventures, who said his sister was going through their home security camera's events log. She came across something caught at 4 in the morning. A shadow figure that, upon closer inspection, appeared to have a head, hands, and what looked like horns at the back of it. It seemed to be heading straight into the living room. A neighbor had been visiting and was still awake at the time the image was taken, too. He told Joey and his sister that he'd stayed seated for most of the night, but at one point felt what he described as a spiritual presence walk into the room. Joey added some personal context for the night as well. He'd been having a really rough time sleeping, didn't finally drift off until around 3 a.m. On top of that, he was dealing with intense feelings of unease and anxiety that didn't seem to have any real logical cause. He also said that for the past year or two, he'd been going through recurring bouts of sleeplessness and unexplained anxiety. There were times he felt like something was in his room with him. Objects would move on their own. At one point, his dresser toppled onto its side completely unprovoked. His sister had been having her own experiences too, reporting strange occurrences and feeling like something had been following her. Joey's Adventures did try to come up with a rational explanation, saying it could have been the neighbors sitting down quickly and the camera just glitched out and created the weird image, but given everything else that had been going on, it does make the whole thing a lot stranger. The footage you just saw there comes from a department store in Chile. The store was closed at the time. There was nobody else there aside from a security guard. When he rushed down to investigate, however, there was nobody there. Classic. The figure is pretty undeniable. This is not a case of like some vague, cloudy shape floating past the lens that's likely dust. This really does look like a human figure. What do you think though? Was there an intruder, or did this security camera capture something more otherworldly? About a year ago, a Reddit user going by Signal Pollution 4881 posted this footage along with a story. He worked as part of the night cleaning crew at a small town movie theater along with his brother. From his very first shift, he knew something wasn't right about the place. On the first night, while cleaning one of the auditoriums, he heard what sounded like an infant crying. He figured maybe a family was just leaving a late showing, but then he was like, wait a minute, no. The theater had been closed for hours at that point. He swept the entire building, and it was completely empty, apart from him and his brother. His brother didn't really buy it at first. For the next few months, other strange things would happen though. Doors opening and closing on their own, footsteps coming from the upstairs projection area. But eventually his brother started hearing things as well, and the two of them switched to morning shifts, just too freaked out to be there at night. About 6 or 7 months in, he's upstairs in the projection area and looks up to find this shadowy figure standing around 20 feet away. No facial features. He bolted and never said a word to his brother about it. After that, he started feeling like something was watching him through the projection windows whenever he cleaned the auditoriums below. Things kind of settled back into the usual background weirdness. I mean, they'd still hear footsteps and voices. The video he posted was actually sent to him by a former coworker after they'd both left the job. Captured around Halloween. Shows some kind of black figure up in the projection area. The Redditor's heart skipped when he saw this footage. He recognized it instantly as the thing he saw at night in the projection area. This was posted to YouTube by Joey Nolan. Pretty creepy video. There's some kind of semi-translucent shape moving around at the top of the stairs. The guy who uploaded it says it was caught on his home security camera on August 8th, 2019 at 12:54 a.m. The thing keeps changing shape throughout the clip. First, it kind of looks like a small human figure stepping out of the dark kitchen and stopping at the top of the stairs, and starts looking more like two floating orbs. So I want to know what all of you think. Is it a hoax, a bit of dust floating around, or is it just too weird for rational explanation? Back in 2024, a Reddit user going by What Did You Do Ray made a post asking for some help, explaining the weird things happening with his trail camera. The camera was set up at a Christmas tree farm in Bedford, Pennsylvania, in a completely open area with no buildings or lights anywhere nearby. For 2 straight months though, the camera had been triggering at exactly 12:05 and 1 second every single night without fail. Yet every photo it took was completely empty. There was no deer or foxes or squirrels. There was just nothing. And then things got a bit stranger when the photos started showing a red light spreading across the tops of the trees, with one shot in particular showing an intensely bright red light forming a clear circle around them. Then came the photo from March 5th, 2024. It captured 2 blurry shapes, one hovering directly above one of the trees, and another similar blur on the ground just off the road. What made this photo stand out even more was that its timestamp was 12:05 and 2 seconds, 1 second later than every other photo in the 2-month series. That one photo was the only one that ever deviated from the pattern. He also mentioned in the comments that he tried switching the camera to video mode at some point, and while it recorded video just fine at any other time, at 12:05 a.m., it would just refuse to capture video, only ever producing a single photo. So something was triggering that camera at the exact same second every single night, hovering above those trees, casting a red light. Apparently, it did not want to be recorded on video. That security footage comes from Reddit user OKThanks3022, who says the clip is from his friend's work. According to him, whatever showed up in the footage actually set off the camera's motion sensors. One commenter said it was probably just a shadow cast by someone walking past outside, but honestly, that doesn't quite add up to me. It's not the flat black you'd expect from a shadow, and it seems to have more of a solid form to it. At first glance, I just thought it looked like a person walking through the empty restaurant, and my first thought was maybe an intruder had broken in, but it just walks straight into the wall and disappears. So what do you think is going on here? Drop your explanations down in the comments. But that's been the video. I will catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next one.